People will often tell you that bullies are just jealous. At first that made sense to me. I was well behaved and really clever, I was top of the class, so it made sense that they would be jealous. But that didn't last very long. I soon realised that if somebody's taking the mick out of you for wearing old and unfashionable clothes and calling you a jippo, they don't want to be like you. There may have been some things they were jealous of, but really honestly I don't think that when you're that young you get very jealous of somebody being cleverer than you. The problem here is difference. I don't think kids are usually nasty because they want to be cleverer than you. They just can't deal with difference. They don't know what to do with it. They're uncomfortable, and so it's easier to just laugh or take the mick. Don't tell me that they're jealous and expect that to make it all okay. To believe that somebody's jealous, you have to think that there's something for them to be jealous of. And when somebody's been taking the mick out of you day after day, you don't believe there's anything for them to be jealous of. You don't think you're good for anything. You certainly don't think anyone would be jealous of you. When somebody's calling you ugly and a man, do you really think that they want to be like you? Of course, they want to be ugly and look like a man too. No. I know that you mean well. I know that you mean to help me, and you mean to help me to understand what's going on. But sometimes it really doesn't help. Looking back, I can realise that some of the bullying was related to jealousy, but at the time I couldn't see it. And to be honest, a lot of the time it wasn't true. It was all about difference. And then people told me to ignore it. Just ignore them and they'll go away and leave you alone. I'm not someone who retaliates easily, I don't get angry easily, and so it wasn't difficult to ignore them. But it didn't work. They still loved it. What they loved was the reaction from their mates. And if I didn't retaliate, then they could just keep going, keep on calling me horrible names, calling me ugly, keep on shoving me or running into me, and get away with it over and over again. Ignoring them does help sometimes, but not always, and keeping on telling me to do that over and over again really isn't helpful. Believe me, this isn't happening because I keep retaliating. If ignoring it would have changed things, I was so desperate I would have ignored it forever. But it didn't do anything except possibly make it worse. And don't tell me to give as good as I get. If you tell me to behave like them, you're saying that what they're doing is okay, and it's not. Yes, they might be doing it without being provoked, but ultimately it's still the same thing. It's still being horrible, bullying, violence is still the same. You're still saying it's okay to hurt another human being. You're still saying it's okay to draw attention to their faults or their differences. And that makes it okay in society. That makes these people look at it and say, other people are doing it, so I can do it too. And it doesn't show those bullies that it isn't normal to be like that. It doesn't show them that there's still good out there, however hard they try to fight against it. And most of all, it actually shows them that they're winning. It shows them that they're having an effect. And okay, some people might be capable of fighting back and beating the bully up, but believe me, most of us who are bullied aren't. We hit back and it just gives them something else to take the mick out of, something else to laugh about or make fun of. Our insults just get laughed at. It doesn't help, it just makes it worse. And then we feel stupid, and we feel weak, and we wish we'd never bothered. Telling a teacher, yes, I agree, we should do that, and sometimes it can really help. But you have to understand how much it takes to do that. You have to understand the types of things that happen to people that tell tales to teachers. You have to understand the stories that we've heard about that. In high school, teachers are often seen as the opposition. They're not people to confide in or to talk to. If you talk to them, you're changing allegiance. And there are people who wouldn't have bullied you before who will turn against you for going to a teacher. Telling a teacher will sometimes start the chain of events that leads to the bullying stopping, but sometimes it won't. And we have to work out whether it's worth it. Is it worth risking making a life that's difficult enough even worse? I think things have got a lot better in schools, but addressing bullying is not straightforward, and the teachers don't always know what's going on, however well-meaning they may be. They are the right people to go to, and please do if you're struggling. But for those supporting people who are being bullied, please understand why that's a very difficult thing to do, and that teachers don't always get it right. I know you really want to help. I really wish I could tell you something to say that would make it all better. I wish there was a magic response that those supporting people who are bullied could just say and it would all go away. I wish there was something you could do to stop the bullies, to stop them being interested in me. But unfortunately it's not that straightforward. And I'm really sorry about that. I wish for every person that gets bullied, for every parent or friend that supports them, that there was a really easy answer, but there isn't. I would give all my money if I thought it would buy a solution, but it won't. The problem is that bullying is bigger than that. Bullying's not just about the bully and the bullied. It's not even about two groups of friends. It's about a society that allows these things to happen and doesn't do anything about it. It's about people who are not taught to understand difference. It's about parents who pass down their prejudices to their children. It's about children who are brought up in homes where they themselves are bullied or experience violence and don't know any other way to behave. It's about politicians who behave worse than children and pick at each other's faults and identify each other's differences and bully each other and call it politics. This can't be solved unless we look at the bigger picture and we all take responsibility. So don't give up. Don't think there isn't an answer. Please take responsibility. Please do something. But please realise what the true problem is and address that. And when it comes to the person you're supporting, when it comes to that individual, me being bullied, what can you do for me? Love me. Tell me as often as I am told that I'm ugly, that I'm beautiful. Surround me with people who care about me. Don't smother me, and don't do things you don't mean, but just remember to say what you're thinking. Don't assume that I know that I'm worth something. Give me opportunities to be with people away from the places that I'm being bullied. And don't set me up to be bullied. Yes, we must be proud of our differences, but if you can afford it, and I want you to, give me some fashionable clothes. Nothing expensive, just something that doesn't make me stand out. Tell me the things I need to know so I don't look silly in front of my peers. And make sure I know that I can talk to you without you judging me. Let me talk to you, but don't take my decisions in your hands. If I am too afraid to tell a teacher, don't go off and do it anyway. Let me have control. Bullies take away control. That's the last thing that I need. Let me know that unless you feel I am in serious danger, you won't go and tell a teacher unless I agree. Otherwise, I just won't talk to you. I'll just hide it. I won't tell anyone. And when it's hidden, it hurts that much more, and it's much more damaging. Love me. Listen to me. Don't judge me. Give me back that control, because you love me.